Hi guys. um, in this hard time, in this pandemic condition, everyone in this world is somehow affected. Practically speaking, a man needs two important things to be happy. One is money, the other one is the society, that is the people. Today, the man is socially and economically both affected. He neither has money nor has his friends, relatives, and colleagues to talk to them and understand their feelings. And man is a social being. It's well said by someone. Man is a social being. Unless and until we have the society with us to interact, man cannot be happy. And that is the reason so many people are getting depressed, and we very often hear the news that so and so committing suicide and getting into depression. A lot of this depression word has become very colloquial word today. Everyone talks about depression. It is because of this pandemic situation that we have. And this year 2020 is going to be an important year in human history. People further, maybe 20 25 years down the line, the students will be studying about this 2020 corona era. And we have very special thing to remember, that is we have our 12th board exam in 2020 and 2021. Of course 2020 is the running session, so we will remember 2020 and you have to remember. And when people are suffering like this, and especially no one can be happily saying that I am well settled and I am very fine. Nobody can say that. If somebody says I am fine, he is lying today. So what is our responsibility today? Our responsibility is to understand the seriousness of time and work according to the seriousness of time. If you don't wake up today, we are not going to wake up towards the end of or the closure of the time that we have. This is all we have, and this is the reality, and we need to understand this. There is no point of getting upset. There is no point of getting depressed. There is no point of criticizing others, blaming the time. If I were to be given the normal time, I could study well. I could show my performances, and I'm not able to show my talent, and I'm not able to live up to my expectations. The time will come for you to show your talent and show your caliber. Now, if you can score more than 80 or 90, even in this hard time, people are going to appreciate you like anything, and your parents are going to be so happy. If my child can get 90 or 80 percentage, even in this hard time, even looking into the digital mode, always studying from digital mode and able to score this much, this is milestone achievement in your career. And 12th, we cannot take it lightly because this decides your career. Previous year batch, some of the students, two or three, okay, two students called me. They were not expecting that much mark. They scored more than 80 percentage. So one of the students called me, sir, I scored 81 percentage. Can I go for journalism? The other one asked, can I go for law? It is the score which decides their career. They were not thinking of, or she or he was not thinking of that journalism before the exam, but after the exam, after the result, yes, she thought of something. So the score is going to make your mind ready for something. So you need to, if you are not that means you are not taking up your future seriously. If you are thinking about your future seriously, independently, then you need to wake up. This is the wake up call. We have almost, if I would say, if you are going through a normal time, then we are almost towards the mid towards the mid. We have 10 chapters in history. We are into the fifth chapter. Means four already completed. Fifth chapter is deleted, and we are into the sixth chapter. So fifth chapter in our in our course. So it is almost mid. So this is the time to wake yourself up, so that you can tell yourself that I'm not going to give up. And CBSE is going to be as usual, not so liberal or something in asking the questions or giving the marks. So we need to work very very hard. There is no other way. So I would request you to please take notes, follow up the classes, attend the live sessions, ask your doubts. You can also message through StudyBase app your doubts. You will get your early response from all the teachers, and I will make sure that I respond within time. So some of you are doing it, some of you are asking doubts, and I am also able to clarify them. I'm happy, and sensible doubts, not very silly doubts, sensible doubts they are asking. I'm happy about it. And live session is meant for that. You should ask your doubts, and you should talk about your problems, how you are facing, and what is your talk to all the teachers, and figure it out. Fine. So always the teachers are there to guide you and motivate you, and don't get depressed and don't get discouraged. Discouragement is the evil of your study. If you are not into the study for 2 3 days, you are out of the race. So you have to every day, मतलब आपने मंडे का वीडियो ट्यूसडे वेडनेसडे देखा, वेडनेसडे का वीडियो फ्राइडे देखा. So you are missing up daily the videos that are put one subject one day. It is not more than 1 hour, 40 minutes, otherwise 1 hour. इतना ही वीडियो बना के देते हैं. So that day itself, do all the requirements related to that video. Finish it off. Revision, yes, you can do Sunday. Sunday is the day given for you. So you can do it on Sunday, revision, whatever you have done. Otherwise, that 1 hour, suppose English doesn't require much effort, you are finishing it within 1 hour. So the rest of the time, concentrate or give to some other subjects which are very very time taking and time consuming. So this is my small piece of advice as well as motivation for you. uh, Please, all of you, pay attention and follow the classes and make the best use of the classes we have. So we are into the next chapter, theme 6 5. As you all know, it's as I have already mentioned and discussed with you, CBSE has deleted chapter 5 for the session 2021, and we are not taking up this. We are into the next chapter, that is Bhakti Sufi traditions. You must have heard about this Bhakti movement and Sufism in your lower classes, and damn sure you must have come across. If not, nothing is wrong. You can come to know even now. Okay, don't get panic. I do not know, so don't worry about all that. So far, in the first four chapters, we have talked about traditional religions like Vedic religion, founded by the Brahmanas, mentioned in Dharma Shastras and Dharma Sutras. And we also talked about two other traditional religions like Jainism and Buddhism. Now we are going into different, various religious practices and beliefs that are going to emerge from the time between 8th to 18th century. Okay, it is changes in religious beliefs and devotional texts. That is a subheading actually. Religious beliefs में क्या क्या changes और आने वाले हैं. Okay, so that is what it is between 8th to 80. There is no particular time for all this. Okay, ये जो भी हम देखने वाले हैं इसके लिए एक particular time नहीं. ये हुआ था 9th century में, ये हुआ था 10th century में. It all started some particular time between this 8th to 18th century. So we'll be studying about this. The first topic that we are going to take, this is a question itself. What are the different religious beliefs and practices? What are the different religious beliefs and practices of 8th and otherwise what are the nahi aa sakta hai, they can ask you to explain the religious beliefs and practices during um, 8th and 8 between 8th to 18th century. ऐसा आ सकते हैं. The meaning, the word meaning, mosaic meaning, different, variety of religious beliefs and practice. That's the meaning of mosaic. So variety of things, variety of religious beliefs. Okay. So the first thing that we are going to talk about is integration of cult. Cult is something that is already achieved in life. Cult, Sholay, Bollywood mein Sholay movie is a cult classic movie. So we have some movies in any field you take, there will be some literature. The work by Shakespeare is a cult. That is the meaning cult. So integration of cults, integration of cult. Here cult means the Vedic religion, that is the Dharma Sutras and Shastras के द्वारा जो ब्राह्मणास के द्वारा जो फाउंडेड रिलीजन है, that is a Vedic religion, about whom Buddhism and Jainism were critic about. वो उसका इंटीग्रेशन कैसे हुआ? पहले ऐसा था कि इट इज ओनली मेंट फॉर द पीपल ऑफ हाई caste people, not for low caste. Now this religion, Vedic religion, that cult is coming to integrate, take up, absorb even the Shudras and women and everybody. So that is the meaning of this heading, integration of a cults. अगर क्वेश्चन इसमें मोसाइक ऑफ डिफरेंट रिलीजियस प्रैक्टिसेस एंड बिलीफ्स के बारे में क्वेश्चन आया तो डायरेक्टली गो टू द हेडिंग इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ कल्ट्स. Historians have tried to understand this in two processes. Okay, they have tried to understand this in a two process, at least two process. One, the first one, this is what you need to. One was the process of disseminating Brahmanical ideas. Disseminating means giving, giving away, या इसको दूसरों तक spread करना. That is the meaning disseminating. One process of disseminating Brahmanical ideas. How it is done? This is exemplified by the composition, compilation and preservation of Puranic texts in simple Sanskrit verses. ये जो भी है, मतलब ब्राह्मणिकल आइडियाज है, इसको कंपोज करते हैं, कंपाइल करते हैं और इन सिंपल संस्कृत वर्ड्स में, सिंपल, पहले टफ डिफिकल्ट लैंग्वेजेस में लिखा गया था. नाउ दे आर मेकिंग इनटू सिंपल संस्कृत वर्ड्स सो दैट पीपल, इवन विमेन एंड शूद्रास कैन अंडरस्टैंड. एंड अर्लियर दे वर एक्सक्लूडेड फ्रॉम दिस. पहले एक्सक्लूडेड थे, but now they are being included into this. This is the first process. I hope you understood the first process. First process ये है कि पहले जो वैदिक लर्निंग जो शूद्रास और विमन के लिए नहीं था और वो लोग इंक्लूडेड नहीं थे इसमें, उनको भी वो भी समझे और वो भी इसके बारे में जाने, इसके लिए इसको सिंपल लैंग्वेज में लिखा जाना. दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ फर्स्ट, दैट इज द फर्स्ट प्रोसेस. दिस इज हाउ दे आर इंटीग्रेटिंग. The second phase or second process at work, that is the Brahmanas accepting and revoking the beliefs and practices of these. ये जो with these meaning women and shudras. Okay, women and shudras, इनका lower caste का जो beliefs है, practices है, and other social categories, और भी कुछ social categories है, इन सबका understand करना, उनको accept करना. In fact, many beliefs and practices are shaped through the continuous dialogue between. तो ये सेकेंड प्रोसेस, यहाँ तक लिखो सेकेंड प्रोसेस. ओके, सेकेंड प्रोसेस अप टू अदर reworking the beliefs and practices of other social categories. Okay, so these are the two process. अब ये सब कैसे होता है? जब भी कुछ चीजें चेंज होता है, ये डायलॉग बिटवीन two people. One is a greater one, that is a little one. So they are telling that many beliefs and practices are shaped through a continuous dialogue between what the sociologists call this as a great Sanskritic Puranic tradition and little Sanskritic Puranic tradition. So ये इंटीग्रेशन कैसे हुआ? ये इंटीग्रेशन इसलिए हुआ क्योंकि एक दो ट्रेडिशंस के बीच में एक कंटिन्यूस डायलॉग हुआ था, मतलब कम्युनिकेशन और डिबेट यू कैन कॉल. So this happened between two important traditions, great as well as little. What is this great Sanskritic Puranic tradition and little? We'll see this in the box here, right side, great and little tradition. The terms great and little tradition were coined by a sociologist named Robert Redfield. He is the person who coined this. Robert Redfield in the 20th century. this one marker के लिए important है. Why? To describe the cultural practices of peasant societies. ये क्यों बताया? Peasant societies cultural practices को बताने के लिए no, I coined this term. He found that the peasants observed rituals and customs that emanated from dominant social categories, including priests. ये उन लोगों से थोड़ा सा अलग था. Peasants जो practice करते थे उन लोगों से थोड़ा सा उनसे थोड़ा लिया गया लेकिन अलग था. This classified as a part of greater tradition. At the same time, peasants also followed local practices that did not necessarily correspond. पहले जो कुछ ट्रेडिशंस फॉलो करते थे वो ब्राह्मणास का जो डोमिनेंट कास्ट का जो रिचुअल्स है उससे थोड़ा मिलता जुलता था. Whereas some other practices, local practices जो उन लोगों से correspond नहीं करता, greater tradition से correspond नहीं था कुछ और. So he wanted to differentiate between these two. Between this peasants following the dominant caste का जो rituals वो और peasants following the local practices. So he coined the term great and little tradition. Okay, while scholars accept the significance of these categories and all that, all you can just read, but this is how he is coming up. Now, integration of cults happens how? It happens in two processes. One, Brahmanas making their ideas in a simple Sanskrit verses so that people, women, Shudras also can understand. Second, accepting and reworking with the beliefs and practices of other social categories. Brahmanas खुद नीचे आ रहे हैं क्योंकि जैनिज्म और बुद्धिज्म ने इनके ऊपर इतना दबाव डाल दिया कि उनको नीचे आना ही पड़ा. So that is the meaning of that. Now, one best example, they are giving a best example how it all happened. Most striking example, this is in Puri, Orissa में है. The principal deity, the principal god of 20 is Jagannatha. Okay, so principal deity of Puri temple में Puri temple में जो main god है, principal god है वो Jagannatha. Now that what is the literal meaning is the Lord of the world. It is Jagannatha is a form of Vishnu. Okay, Lord Vishnu. Okay, वो भी आपको ये this is the figure Jagannatha, this one. Okay, so these three are there. Jagannatha is the extreme right side, and with his sister Subhadra and his brother Balrama. So these are the three gods kept in this one. What is that? Jagannatha temple. If you compare this picture 6.2 with figure 4.26 in chapter 4, this 4.26 क्या है आप बुक में देख लेना. I'm telling you, this is Lord Vishnu reclining over the snake, that is शेषनाग के ऊपर मतलब सोते हुए एक पिक्चर है. So that is a 4.2. उसमें भी Lord Vishnu है. If you notice the deity is represented in a very different way. यहाँ पे और वहाँ पे. तो it is according to the पुरी में local practice के हिसाब से विष्णु को रिप्रेजेंट किया गया. वहां पे मतलब वैदिक ट्रेडिशंस के हिसाब से वहां पे रिप्रेजेंट किया. बोथ आर लॉर्ड विष्णु ओनली बट बोथ आर रिप्रेजेंटेड प्रेजेंटेड इन अ डिफरेंट वे. So this is the meaning of integration. This is the meaning of integration according to the local deity. Okay, so it is that the local this is this Jagannatha का जो जब भी ये फेस्टिवल होता है so that the deity image is made of particular wood. Local tribal specialist वो एक wood उधर एक tree है. Recently newspaper में आया था क्योंकि even during this lockdown people celebrated within the temple. First time temple के corridor में ही इन्होंने वो procession निकाला था. उस समय न्यूज में आया था कि the image of that Lord Vishnu Jagannatha, that all the three god and goddesses, उनका जो इमेज है वो एक स्पेशल वुड से ही बनाते हैं. और ये वुड बनाने वाला कौन है? लोकल ट्राइबल पीपल. सी image of a Brahmana god, a Hindu Vedic god, is being prepared by a tribal specialist. Tribals are considered to be people outside this four varnas. We studied this when we studied in chapter 3, when we studied this Nishadas. They are called Nishadas, tribal forest dwellers. They prepare the images. So that means how much the integration has taken place today. So that is the meaning of this. The rest you can leave out. One example of there are 2 points. Now इसी question में second point, that is difference and conflict. What is the difference and what is the conflict? First difference we are going to see. First difference is, see, we have a kind of tradition called tantric tradition. Tantric worship or tantric tradition. Later on ये बता रहे कि it is going to be after the almost 1000 years, this is going to be included one with the Hinduism. Okay, so I today what is the tantric tradition? It is part of Hinduism, but a different practices. So today it happened like that. Earlier it was not. It was the worship that was classified tantric. Tantric practices widespread in several parts of subcontinent. There are all men and women all practice this. Okay, many of these ideas only influenced Shaivism as well as Buddhism. Okay, about talking of why, because this tantric idea ignored the differences and of caste and class within the ritual context. ये फर्स्ट टाइम मतलब हिंदू ट्रेडिशन एक तरफ, ब्राह्मणिकल ट्रेडिशन एक तरफ था, उसी समय तांत्रिक ट्रेडिशन भी था, और तांत्रिक ट्रेडिशन इग्नोर्ड ऑल द डिफरेंसेस, और ये शाइविज्म और बुद्धिज्म को इन्फ्लुएंस किया. इसलिए बुद्धिज्म इज टोटली critic against this, against the discrimination of caste people in with respect to caste and class. Fine. So now there are some other practices like, this I told you, this is going to be classified as a Hindu. Okay, over the course of next millennium ये तांत्रिक जो ideas है वो बाद में Hinduism बन जाएगा. The divergence is perhaps the most stark if we compare Vedic and Puranic tradition. ये जो वैदिक पुरानिक ट्रेडिशन को जब हम कंपेयर करेंगे, दोनों के जो बीच में जो डिफरेंस है वो बहुत ज्यादा है. बिकॉज हियर in Puranic tradition, the god like Agni, Pantheon, Indra, Soma, all are like marginal figures, rarely visible in textual and visual representation. इनको हम इमेज में कहीं नहीं देखते हैं. They are just marginal ideas. While we can catch a glimpse of Vishnu, Shiva and goddesses in Vedic mantras, these have little in common with the elaborate Puranic mythologies. However, in spite of obvious discrepancies, Vedas continue to be. Whereas ये सब पुरानिक ट्रेडिशंस में ये सब गॉड के बारे में हम एक ग्लिम्स, थोड़ा सा उनके बारे में जान सकते हैं, एक झलक मिल सकता है. लेकिन तांत्रिक ट्रेडिशन टॉक्स अबाउट मोर एंड मोर regulated contact with the divine. So this is the this one. This Vedic tradition often condemned the practices that went beyond the closely regulated contact with the divine through performances of mantras chanted. Tantric, with the mantras, you are going to be one with God. You are going to experience God. Tantric practices. So this is the difference, and this is the conflict also. The difference between Puranic tradition and Tantric tradition. Tantric tradition talks about God. First, the difference is Puranic tradition is meant for high caste people, whereas Tantric tradition there is no, ignores all the differences. All are equal. That is the first difference. Difference में वो लिख सकते हैं. I don't think so. You need to write all this, taking glimpse of the god mantras and all that. You can direct. That is the difference. Conflict is this. Conflict is Vedic tradition, that is Puranic tradition, condemns the practices that goes beyond regulating contact with the divine through performance. मतलब you cannot have close contact. On the other hand, those engaged in tantric practices, they frequently ignore the authority of Vedas. ये मतलब वो बोल रहे हैं कि तांत्रिक लोग जैसे क्लोज कॉन्टेक्ट की बात कर रहे हैं डिवाइन के साथ, वो नहीं हो सकता है. Vedic tradition is telling. The other side, Tantric tradition is ignoring the authority of Vedas. Vedas are the supreme. वो वेदा पुरानिक ट्रेडिशन कहता है और तांत्रिक ट्रेडिशन कहता है Vedas are just a text and they are not supreme. What is supreme is one with God. Your mantras, your prayers, your devotion to God is important. Also, devotees also tended to project their chosen deity, either Lord Vishnu or superior. So इसमें Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiv, they are supreme, not the Vedas. Your God is different, supreme. Or what is supreme is your God, not Vedas. Now, even that time, Buddhism and Jainism also giving tough fight all this. So these are the conflict between Vedic tradition and Puranic tradition. ये फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन थोड़ा सा मतलब हल्का सा दिमाग से ऊपर जा रहा है ऐसा लग रहा होगा. If you just follow what I explained, that is more than sufficient. Let me just quickly, since it is little tough, I am just taking some more time on this. Otherwise, I would have gone to next topic. क्वेश्चन अगर आ गया, the no explain the differences, different religious beliefs and practices between 8th and 18th century in India. Integration of cults. The cult religion, that is Vedic religion is a cult religion, is trying to integrate in two processes. One, giving their ideas to the people in simple languages called Sanskrit, okay, so that people, even women and Shudras, can learn. Second, accepting and reworking the beliefs and practices of other societies, even Shudras and all that, other categories. यही है बस इसमें ग्रेट एंड लिटिल ट्रेडिशन। ये इसलिए मतलब ये क्यों हुआ, क्योंकि उस समय के सोशियोलॉजिस्ट थे, मतलब सोशियोलॉजी ग्रेट एंड लिटिल ट्रेडिशन के बारे में बात करें तो ये इसलिए हुआ होगा कि कंटिन्यूस डायलॉग, जब लोगों के बीच में कंटिन्यूस डायलॉग होता है तो अपने आप एक दूसरे से एक्सेप्ट कर लेता है। सो दिस इज हाउ इट हैपेंड। So people later on historians added this. What is great tradition and little tradition? अलग से एक one marker में आ सकते हैं. You need not mention here. Okay. You need not. One example you should mention this example. Puri example. Okay. Jagannath example. Second, difference and conflict. The difference is Tantric religion ignored the differences of caste class within the ritual text, whereas the Vedic religion did not differentiate. No, they did not differentiate. They said caste based. Only the higher caste people can be accessible to Vedic learning, and Vedas are supreme. This is the difference. Conflict is the second. Just ignore this whole second paragraph. Uh, the conflict is this, that is, the Vedic tradition condemned the practices that went beyond close contact with the divine by performing sacrifices, especially chanted mantras. Tantric mantras में विश्वास करते हैं, ऐसा करके close contact पाना मुमकिन नहीं है. So they are telling this, whereas these people are telling it is possible, and calling Veda as a supreme is a foolishness, they are telling. And they are telling Vishnu or Shiv should be your supreme god, not Vedas. Your own deity, your own chosen god should be supreme. So during this time only, this actually this tantric tradition is giving a new no, hope for a new worship called devotional worship. This is a devotion, means bhakti tradition. Traditions of devotion and bhakti need to be located within this context. ये जो तांत्रिक ट्रेडिशन जो बताता है, वहीं से ये भक्ति मूवमेंट का भी ओरिजिन स्टार्ट होता है. ओके, भक्ति मूवमेंट. सो डिवोशनल वर्शिप had a long history even before that, but no, it started being into practice from this time only. So the expressions of devotions कैसे कैसे कर सकते हैं. The expressions of devotions ranged from even routine worship of deities within the temples to ecstatic no ecstasy. Okay, ecstasy adoration with the devotees attained trance like state. ऐसा मतलब ऐसा एक situation में आप पहुंच जाते हैं कि you do not know where you are and where you are sitting and praying, whether you are standing, sleeping, sitting. No, trance position means you are not aware of yourself. That is the meaning of trance. So this is bhakti. It can be a simple bhakti, it can be a ecstatic or ecstasy. Ecstasy means getting into a deeper level. So it can be that, it can be singing, chanting, no, anything. So that is about a just introduction to bhakti movement. I hope you understood this topic. Why we studied this? It is paving way for the bhakti movement. That is why so far spend a lot of time, almost 20 minutes into this small topic. Why? Because it is giving the foundation to the bhakti movement. Tantric tradition is giving foundation to bhakti movement. So we are going quickly into the bhakti movement. Okay, in the course of evolution, these forms of worship in poets, saints emerge as leaders around. So who are the bhakti movements का जो leaders कौन है? Poets, saints, they are the leaders, developed a community of devotees. Brahmanas, the beginning, while Brahmanas remained an important intermediary between God and the devotees in several forms of bhakti. पहले ब्राह्मणास मतलब इंटरमीडिएटरी थे. ये जो भक्ति करते थे वो poets थे. They used to chant and sing, and but prayers and all said by the brahmanas only. But these traditions accommodated and acknowledged even women and lower caste. Consider those people who were considered ineligible in orthodox brahmanical framework में brahmanical tradition में जो ineligible थे वो सब इसमें eligible है. So that is what characterized this bhakti tradition as a remarkable diversity. भक्ति ट्रेडिशन का एक important remarkable diversity वो है कि including the shudras, lower caste and women. So in bhakti movement, we studied this in tantric tradition, वहाँ पे भी पढ़ा था. So वहाँ से आ रहा तो obviously वो should be there. So at different level, historians of religion often we are just एक introduction देख रहे हैं. Introduction में मतलब question, this is a very important question. What is that? No, explain the earlier traditions of bhakti. Earlier traditions of bhakti. या no एक लॉन्ग आंसर में भक्ति मूवमेंट के बारे में क्वेश्चन आ गया. So this is your answer. Anything related to bhakti movement, your answer is this. You have to start with the first statement, that is bhakti traditions accommodated and acknowledged. ये वाला ठीक है. This tradition की जगह पे bhakti traditions accommodated and acknowledged women and the lower caste categories considered ineligible for liberation within the orthodox brahmanical framework में जिसको हम ineligible वो यहाँ पे accepted थे. First point. Second, historians of religion often classified bhakti tradition into two broad categories. Very very important. One marker के लिए बहुत important है. I think it's the first one marker. No, Jagannatha one marker में आ सकता है. Saguna and Nirguna. That is the two broad categories. Saguna means attribute with attributes. Nirguna means without attributes. What is this meaning? Meaning is this. Saguna के लिए. The former means Saguna. The former includes traditions that focused on worship of specific deities such as Shiv, Vishnu, and avatars and his avatars, incarnations, and forms of goddesses, Devi, and all the god that are they are conceptualized anthropomorphic forms. मतलब human form में जो anthropomorphic forms means human form में जो भी images हम जो भी worship करते हैं ये सबको accept करना, worship करना Saguna with attributes, meaning you are able to see that God and pray with some image. Whereas Nirgun Bhakti is very important, meaning worshipping an abstract form of God. You have no clue about that God. You are praying to God. No, you are praying to a tree. Sorry, not tree, air. You are praying to Agni, or you are praying something that you cannot comprehend. So abstract form of God. That is, I can say, your goodness of that God. You are praying and you are believing in the goodness of God. Goodness is something that you cannot see. So abstract now. Sorry. So you are praying to that. So there is a Saguna and Nirguna. I think I am very clear about this. One marker के लिए बहुत important है. Otherwise, this is second point in your long answer. This is second point in your long answer. Third point is the heading Alvars and Nayanas of Tamil Nadu. In Bhakti traditions, this is the earliest Bhakti movement में कुछ लोग अगर Bhakti movement के लिए कुछ historically कुछ किए हैं तो ये है Alvars and Nayanas. Alvars are those people. Alvars literally those who are immersed in devotion with Lord Vishnu. See Alvars, if you see the spelling Alvars and Nayanas, only in Alvars we have V. Nayanas में कोई V नहीं है. तो जिस Alvars and Nayanas spelling में जहाँ जिसमें V आ रहा है वो विष्णु है. So those people who are very difficult, finding it difficult to remember, वो ये किसके devotees हैं, confuse हो जाते हैं क्योंकि एग्जाम में confuse इसी में करेंगे. Alvars are the devotees of Lord शिव लिख देंगे तो गलत है ये. Alvars में V आता है तो ये विष्णु का है. Nayanas में V नहीं है, so विष्णु नहीं है तो कौन है? Lord शिव है. So they are leaders who are devotees of Lord Shiv. Very very important, very very obvious, and one marker है. Alvars and Nayanas का difference कौन है, किसके devotees हैं, वो very important. And they traveled from one place to another singing hymns in Tamil. Okay, Alvars and Nayanas are the Tamil saints, not other North India. So in praise of their gods. So Tamil saints, Alvars and Nayanas. During the travels, Alvars and Nayanas identified so many places. वहाँ पे छोटे-छोटे temples बनाए, shrines बनाए. Shrines means temple for their own god. विष्णु और जो Alvars है विष्णु के लिए, Nayanas है जो शिव के लिए temple बनाए. Today they have become sacred places and तीर्थ यात्रा पे जाते हैं. It has become a pilgrimage centers today in many parts of South India. So that is about Alvas and Nayanas. Very small. This is the third point. Source कुछ नहीं है, just read. I don't think this is an important source. There's a please read. No, not so important. I'm not going to take that now. This is a fourth point is the bhakti saints या bhakti traditions का attitude caste के प्रति कैसे था, attitude towards caste. Some historians suggest that Alvas and Nayanas initiated the movement of protest against caste system and the dominance of Brahmanas, or at least attempted to reform the system. ये बहुत important है. Alvas and Nayanas caste system के प्रति बहुत लड़े. They fought against this. They said God is for all. There is no any kind of discrimination in praying to God and worshipping God. So there is no any discrimination. To some extent, this is corroborated by the fact that bhaktas hailed from diverse social groups, ranging from cultivators se leke brahmanas se leke artisans se leke even lower caste untouchables. Everybody were the bhaktas. Okay. The important tradition of the Alvars and Nayanas has sometimes indicated the claim that their compositions were important than Vedas. कभी कभी वो बोलते थे कि तुम लोगों का जो वेदास है उससे ही बहुत बड़ा है और उसके बराबर है हमारे compositions. No, they said our songs are far equivalent with your Vedas. Sometimes they used to claim this. For instance, one example is one marker के लिए one major anthology means written work composition by Alvars and Nayanas is called Divya Prabandham. Very very important. Divya Prabandham. ये one mark के लिए Nalayara Divya Prabandham. Okay, what is this? This one Nalayara. Nalayara means 4,000. In Tamil, Nalayara means 4,000. So 4,000 songs. Nalayaram 4,000 Divya Prabandhams was frequently described as Tamil Veda. So very very obvious and important and very frequently asked question is which of the following is also known as Tamil Veda, that is Nalayara Divya Prabandham. So thus claiming that text was significant as the four Vedas in Sanskrit that was cherished by the so इसमें बहुत सारे one marker हमने देखा है. Please underline all of them and take a different notes. Okay, that is the fourth point. Okay, ये fourth point में आएगा. Fifth point ये 4 और 5 भी कर सकते हैं इसमें. एक तो discrimination, second ये वेदास के बराबर 5 हो गया. Sixth point, women devotees. One of the most striking features of this bhakti tradition is the presence of women. इससे पहले bhakti tradition तक even Buddhism also was reluctant in accepting women as their bhikkhus and bhikkhunis into the sangha. Buddha was not so much happy to induct women into the sangha, but here this is the first time without any hesitation it is the women who are leading the movement. This bhakti movement is being led by women. One best example is a woman called Andal. The name of the lady is Andal. It's a woman Alvar saint. She is a Vishnu follower Alvar, and she used to even her songs even today very famous Andal songs. And Andal saw herself as the beloved of Vishnu. अपने आप को एक beloved Vishnu. Her verses express her love for the deity. Another woman called कारेकाल अम्मयार. ये सब एग्जाम्पल आपको ये पॉइंट के नीचे दो विमन के बारे में लिखना पड़ेगा. वन इज आंडाल, बट वो किसके फॉलोअर है वन मार्कर में आ सकता है. आंडाल वाज अ डिवोटी ऑफ लॉर्ड शिव लिख देंगे तो वो एब्सोल्युटली गलत है. कारेकाल अम्मयार, Karaikal is the name of the place in Tamil Nadu. She is from that place. Ammayar is the meaning. Ammayar meaning a woman in motherly form. So Karaikal Ammayar, name of the lady is Ammayar. She is from Karaikal. So Karaikal Ammayar, she is the devotee of Lord Shiv. She adopted the extreme asceticism in order to attain her goal. Okay, to be one with God. That is her goal. So extreme asceticism means penance, prayer, fasting, and extreme. So compilations of devotional literature ये बहुत important है आपके one marker के लिए. By the 10th century, the compositions of 12 alvars were compiled in anthology known as Nalayara Divya Prabandham. 4,000 sacred compositions हमने देखा था. The poems of Appar, Sambandar, and Sundarar. These are the three poets. These are the name of the poets. Okay, don't think these are works. Poems of Appar. Appar एक आदमी था. Appar, Sambandar another person, Sundarar another person. ये तीनों का जो वर्क है उसको एक में उन तीनों मिलके एक काम करते हैं, मतलब एक कंपोजिशन करते हैं. उसका नाम है तेवारम. a collection that was compiled and classified in 10th century on the basis of music of the songs. So, who wrote Devaram? It is Appar, Sambandar, and Sundarar. Nalayara Divya Prabandham, it is by 12 Alvar saints. 12 Alvar saints together they wrote an anthology known as Nalayara Divya Prabandham. The meaning of Nalayara Divya Prabandham is 4,000 sacred compositions. So very important one marker. ये lesson में बहुत one marker है. You will be fed up with one markers, but there is no other choice but to study them. Okay? ये तो beginning है. और भी बहुत सारे one marker इसमें इस lesson में. But those people who are hungry for MCQs will enjoy this lesson. Fine. So that is about Nalayara Divya Prabandham and Devara. That is about women devotees. Karekalamayar in this source 3 thoda important hai. In this source 3 she is describing herself as a demon in no in need or in hunger or in thirst of God, of a person about whom she is mad about. So वो अपने आप को पे meaning the female पे मतलब in Tamil पे meaning demoness. Okay, so with the bulging veins, no protruding eyes, आंख बाहर आ गए हैं, veins पूरा दिख रहा है बाहर, teeth and stomach all shrunken, red head and jutting teeth, no, then angles where he shouts, wails, shouting, wandering in the idhar udhar घूम रहे. This is the forest of Alangattu. Alangattu is a place. Alangattu, which is the home of our father. Alangattu में एक temple है, Lord Shiv का एक temple है, इसलिए Alangattu का नाम है. Who dances with his matted hair को पूरा मतलब फैला दिया, thrown in all the 8 directions, with cool limbs. She is dancing and in thirst of be one with that Lord Shiv. तो ये अपने आप को डीमन क्यों कर रहे हैं कि डीमन ऐसा है कि एक चीज को पाने के लिए हमेशा मतलब फुल एनर्जी में रहता है, इसलिए शी इज डिस्क्राइबिंग हरसेल्फ एज अ डीमनेस. सो दिस इज अ सोर्स, दिस इज अ स्टैच्यू ऑफ कारेकला मेयर. थोड़ा सा डीमन जैसे दिख रही है, नो प्रॉब्लम. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इन दिस ओनली, दिस इज सिक्स्थ 4 5 6 7th पॉइंट, रिलेशंस विद द स्टेट. उस समय ये भक्ति ट्रेडिशंस के जो सेंट्स थे उनका रिलेशंस कैसे था मतलब स्टेट्स रूलर्स के साथ. We studied in the second chapter that that during this time Chera, Cholas and Pandyas, even Pallavas also ruling this time, and they were giving patronage, royal patronage to the that time existing religion called Buddhism and Jainism. इसको ज़्यादा patronage देते थे, and people of Bhakti tradition they did not like this, and they were always opposed. These poets always opposed Buddhism. टू बुद्धिज्म एंड जैनिज्म, उनको ही ज़्यादा सपोर्ट मिलता है, मतलब फंड मिलता है करके. दे वर सो मच अपोज्ड, एंड बट पीपल वर सो मच क्रेज अबाउट दिस भक्ति सेंट्स. उनके जो सॉन्ग्स उनके लोग पागल हो जाते थे, एंड दे यूज्ड टू फॉलो देम. सो व्हेन पीपल स्टार्टेड फॉलोइंग, and rulers have no other choice but to take the support of this bhakti movement. This is what happened in the history also. So they try to explain their hostility because competition between the members of जो followers है उनके बीच में जो competition था, which is the most famous religion and powerful religion उसमें. So what is evident is at last the powerful Chola rulers ने क्या किया, they 9th century to 30th they supported Brahmanical and Bhakti tradition दोनों को, and they started giving. See, Bhakti tradition is nothing but one with the Brahmanical Hinduism only. So making land grants and giving some place temples for Lord Shiva, and they construct a lot of temples for Cholas were the first one to give support. And the most significant Shiv temples including, so Cholas were building only Shiv temples, important temples, very important temples constructed by the Chola rulers are, one is in Chidambaram, place very important, all these are in Tamil Nadu, Chidambaram, Tanjore and Gangaikonda Cholapuram. So Gangaikonda Cholapuram is my hometown, and it's just Chidambaram, just 90 kilometers far away from Gangaikonda Cholapuram. Tanjore again 70-75 kilometers. All these three temples, Shiv temples, very important historical temples, are in and around Gangaikonda Cholapuram. Seems to be my hometown now. This was also a period when some of the most spectacular representations like Lord Shiv in bronze sculpture and all that being done, and the visions of Nayanas also. Both Nayanas, so support first Pallavas and Pandyas, they were giving royal patronage to the Buddhists and Jainis, which was not liked by the Bhakti saints, and later on Cholas coming up, supporting all this. Both Nayanas and Alvas were, revered. Revered means respected by the Velala peasants. Velala is a community, peasants community, but both the powerful community. They also supported this, and they started. They also, started building lot of temples for them. Okay, these kings also. वो सब पैराग्राफ आप इग्नोर कर सकते हैं. These kings also introduced the singing of Tamil Shaiva hymns in temples under the royal patronage, taking the initiative to collect organize into the text. देवारम हमने पढ़ा था. Inscription evidence 19 suggests that 1945 year suggests that Chola ruler Pranataka I, okay, Pranataka one, no, I, it's not I, it is one. Okay, there are two three, Pranataka 1 2 3 constructed a metal image of upper का image भी इन्होंने upper संबंदर and सुंदरर का image बनाया. ये one marker बहुत important है, underline कर लो. Who constructed the metal images of upper संबंदर and सुंदरर in Shiv temple? So this is Pranataka 1. Okay, is a Chola ruler. Is a Chola ruler. वो भी पूछ सकते हैं which चेहरा चोला पांड्या पल्लवास में ये Chola ruler है. प्रांतंका Pranataka 1. Okay, so that is that is the one, that is about a one marker. ये आ सकते हैं, ठीक है, important. So that is about the early Bhakti traditions. Now Bhakti tradition that was in Tamil Nadu. Early Bhakti tradition that was in Tamil Nadu. Early Bhakti tradition in Karnataka. We are going to see early Bhakti tradition in Karnataka. In Karnataka, emergence of the movement, new movement Karnataka. It was led by a Brahmana named Basavana. A person Basavana, he only led this, like Alvas Nayanas there. Here Basavana was a minister of Kalachuri ruler ka minister tha ye. His followers were known as two. They were known by two names. One is Veera Shaivas, heroes of Shiva. Lingayats, wearers of Linga. वो क्या करते हैं, एक लिंग का जो एक छोटा सा इमेज जैसा बना के उसको ये मतलब वो पहनते थे. कि सिल्वर केस में उस बना के उसको अपने हाथ में पहनते थे. So they were tying this on their hand. So they are Lingayats and Shavairish. Both are same. Okay, both are same. Lingayats continue to be important community in the region even today. They worship Lord Shiv. Lingayats worship Lord Shiv, like Alvars, Vishnu, Nayanars, Lord Shiv, and Lingayats worship Lord Shiv. In the manifestation of Linga, men usually wear a small Linga silver case. I told you. Those who are revered include those who are revered, respected. Those people, followers here. Monks, they are called Jangama, wandering monks. इसमें जो monks इधर उधर घूम फिर के अपना teachings देते हैं लोगों को, they are called Jangama. The Lingayats believe that on death the devotee will be united with the Shiva and will not return to this world. There is no rebirth, and they don't believe in rebirth. That is why they don't practice the funerary rites service. एक बार मरने के बाद वो जो service होता है वो सब नहीं करते हैं. They just go and bury the dead bodies because they don't believe in a person taking birth again. Lingayas also challenge the idea of caste. This is the teachings of Lingayas, or you can say ideology of Lingayas, or if the question comes on Lingayats, Veera Shaiva tradition, Karnataka, any question comes, just start the answer. It was founded by a person called Basavana. He was the minister. ऐसे करके आप points में लिखते जाओ. ये short answer में ही आ सकते हैं. Lingayas also challenge the idea of caste and the pollution attributed to certain groups of Brahmanas. A number of times we talked about this. They also question the theory of rebirth. Rebirth पे विश्वास नहीं करते. And these won them the followers among those who are marginalized within the Brahmanical. वो लोग ज़्यादा followers इनके आगे and encourage certain practices disapproved by all that. They encouraged such practices which was disapproved by Dharma Shastras में जो allowed नहीं है वो सब यहाँ पे करते थे. For example, remarriage of widows they believed in, and they also believed in post puberty marriage. Means a girl after a particular age, after attaining the puberty only can marry. But whereas Dharma Shastra said even child marriage is allowed, but here they said it is not allowed. So our understanding of Veera Shaivas tradition is derived from. हमें कुछ भी पता चलता है वीर शैवास के बारे में आज, ये कहाँ से हमें पता चलता है? ये बुक वचनास करके एक बुक है, and Vachanas literal meaning sayings. It is composed by in Kannada by women and men both who joined the movement. ये बहुत सारे लोगों से लिखा गया था, ये पर्टिकुलर पर्सन नहीं था इसको लिखने के लिए, इसलिए ये सोर्स वचना से लिया गया है. Making fun of all thing, no, when serpent comes you say kill kill and you pour milk on the stone, and if somebody comes with no with hunger stomach and you are telling them go away, the image of God which cannot eat they are offering, or you are offering all the food to them. So it is making fun of the today's religion. आप ये अच्छे से पढ़ोगे तो बहुत हंसी आएगी. Today's religious practice is based on this only. You are feeding to the stone which cannot eat. You are worshipping the snake, but when the real snake comes you are killing. I know you are giving, you don't give the food to person who need food. So all that is a very surprising. So new religious movement, this period witnessed two major developments. One, that is major many ideas of Tamil Bhaktas, वो सब, or especially Vaishnavas का incorporated in a Sanskrit tradition, culminating in a composition of the best known Puranas called Bhagavata Purana. What is Bhagavata Purana? Bhagavata Purana is nothing but तमिल भक्तास के द्वारा लिखा गया और संस्कृत ट्रेडिशन के साथ कंपोज करने के बाद ये एक नया पुराना है, ये वो भगवत पुराना. Second, we find the development tradition of Bhakti in Maharashtra, that is in Sri Disasa. What is Bhagavata Purana? अलग से आ सकते हैं. What is written in this, the religious no ferment in North India? ये सब साउथ इंडिया में हो रहा था. इसी समय नॉर्थ इंडिया में भी कुछ कुछ चल रहा था, but not much, because here people were following Brahminical tradition only. No, and Rajputs were ruling most of the states, and Rajputs were hardcore supporters of Brahmanas, and they were getting all their sacrifices performed by the Brahmanas only. So that is why this Bhakti movement was not that much famous in North India. But we had some group of people. Okay, this group of people, Nath, Jogis, and Siddhas. These are the three people who, who they were from artisan family, like Vaishya's family, third category, and they were talking about this kind of bhakti movement which was happening in South India. And these people, Naths, Jogis, and Siddhas, were the bhakti saints group of भक्ति मूवमेंट इन नॉर्थ इंडिया. बस इतना आपको पता होना चाहिए, बाकी इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम कोई ये नहीं है. तो ये this was happening in North India, and this was changed by a group of people, Turks coming from Central Asia, and attacking, conquering the Rajputs and taking over the North India. Thus, Islam getting spread in India. So Islam is becoming a new religion. Islamic world India may start. India becomes part of Islamic world. That is our next topic. So I think I have given you enough introduction. So let me tell you in 1 minute what we have studied so far. See, first Brahminical tradition, then Jainism and Buddhism. ये तीनों आने के बाद एक नया मूवमेंट आया था, वन विद गॉड, हाउ टू एक्सपीरियंस गॉड पर्सनली. तो ये भक्ति मूवमेंट उसका एक आंसर दिया. भक्ति मूवमेंट गेव एन आंसर फॉर दिस. So Bhakti movement emerged as a individual religious experience for the people, and in the South India it was very much prevalent by Alvas and Nayanas. Then in Karnataka, Veerashaivas, or you can call them as Lingayats. Then even North India we have some people, but in North India it was mostly by Brahminical tradition. But by the time when Islamic rulers entered India and conquered India, Islamic world, India also got occupied by Islamic world. Next we are going to see the Islamic world in our next session. Till then, all of you, please take care, study. Bye bye.